I don't know that I have too much inspiration, other than I just liked watching fights when I was younger. I don't really have a super awesome story to watch, or to share really about the reason that I started. I was kind of just drawn to the sport after watching it on TV late at night when it was on the station that I grew up in my parents' house. And um, yeah, I really don't have an inspiring story other than I kind of just signed up at a really good gym and was kind of good at it right off the bat. And then my hobby just turned into a passion, and then my passion turned into a career. And I just kind of got lucky to find it. Yeah, I used to watch. It was called the WEC. It was another organization that wasn't the UFC. They played like years and years and years ago, but they had like some of my favorite fighters, and just because of the station that like my parents got, we didn't get a lot of the UFC fights, but we got all of the WEC ones. So I would watch guys like Donald Cerrone, Uriah Faber, Jose Aldo, Dominic Cruz, Chad Mendez. Like I really liked watching a lot of those guys when I was younger. But like I said, they were all WEC guys. They weren't even in the UFC yet, so that was like long, long ago. Oh, so my style is my art, man. Like I'm kind of one of the artsier guys in the sport. I think I view fighting, and I view my style as, my sculpture. It's kind of like my life's work, and I'm always trying to sculpt it and perfect it and chisel away at it, and make it fine tuned and make it as beautiful as I feel like I can make it, but also make it like an expression of my own self. So um, a lot of what you're seeing is like things that I've seen other guys do that I just think are really beautiful movements or really beautiful techniques or really beautiful ways of thinking that I just tried to have adopted and put into its one own big style. Yeah, I think that for a long time I was using, everyone kind of uses their things in order to compensate for other things. That's why I think styles get different. Um, but for a long time, I think I was using a lot of movement to compensate for other weaknesses. And I think that I've gotten a lot better in those areas, which has kind of just trickled down and made my actual movements a lot more precise and a lot more efficient. I haven't fought in about a year now, and I've spent that year really trying to hammer down and working really hard to make sure that I'm strong in those weaker areas, and becoming a more well-rounded fighter. And each thing that I fix kind of seems to fix one other thing, and then maybe messes up another thing, and then I have to fix a different thing. So it's just like the constant, like I said, sculpting of this art. And that's what I've spent a lot of my last year doing, is just tightening up the areas that I'm weak at, and then hopefully I can fight for a title sometime next year, and be a champ that I'm proud of. It's just discipline, like it's all about how hard you want to work at something, and hard work isn't always just physical exerting yourself. Hard work is like taking notes, watching tape, eating well, sleeping well, making sure that, like you're taking care of your spirit and your mind, and making sure that those things are doing well, so that you can give 100% to your actual training. And so my eating regimen and stuff is just, I just stay disciplined and I just do it. Like no one loses weight just by doing nothing. You have to actually diet, and you have to actually work at these things. And I've been doing it for so long now, where I know my body really well. I know when it needs fuel. I know when I'm being just hungry, and just wanting to eat something. But no, I just am like a really disciplined and hardworking guy, and that's the reason that I'm able to make the weight that I can make. Maybe not in the takedowns. The only two takedowns that TJ got were like off of my techniques. Like I threw like a jump knee and he ate it, and then like landed on top for like a short amount of time. And then I threw like a spinning back kick that he like closed the distance on, and then I fell over for like, again, a short amount of time. I would say that fight got won and lost in the control positions against the cage, and the control positions are just something that I should have been a little bit more urgent about. But it's a little bit hard sometimes for me to understand what weighs higher than other things, because I know as far as damage goes, I was doing a lot more damage on TJ than him having me in a body lock. So it was just a learning experience that is an unfortunate thing that I had to learn in such a big fight, but I've become a lot better fighter from it. But I think it was definitely won and lost just in those like extra couple of seconds that TJ had a body lock in. Yeah, it was a bit unexpected. I thought I was either gonna fight Marab, Cheeto, Cruz, or Aldo. Those were the names that I thought that I was gonna get, and then they all ended up fighting each other. And I was kind of on Instagram just watching all of the matchups get announced, and then not knowing where I was gonna land in that. And then shortly after that, I got a call just from my agent saying that they wanted me and Song as a main event in September, and I was okay with it. Like I think Song's a very good fighter, and I think he's a dangerous guy, and he's going to be a really great name one day. And I think that I'll be happy that I fought him in the future, because I do think he'll be a big name one day. I'm not really sure. I know that striking is definitely my best suit. I think I'm a better striker than Song, and I think that's Song's strongest area, and we'll probably see who's just going to be the better striker. No, I'm already a really calm enough guy as it is in life. Being calm isn't I don't think the clearest path to success in a fist fight. I think I think I try to get really aggressive. Like when I think about evolution and biology and stuff, we never fought unless we were in an aggressive nature or in a competitive nature, or trying to protect something or whatever. So I kind of try to tap into that a little bit more, where, yeah, I mean, animals fight because they're being competitive or they're being aggressive with each other. And they definitely don't just fight calmly just for fun. So I try to be like an animal, and I try to fight as aggressively as I can and get as intense as I can before a fight. I think knockouts are only a little bit more exciting, because usually after I fight a full fight, I'm extremely exhausted and I don't have the energy to celebrate as much. Whereas knockout fights obviously happen a lot sooner than the entire allotted time. So I just have a lot more energy when I get a knockout. But both of wins, a win's a win to me. If it happens by submission, knockout, whatever, a win is a win to me. But knockouts, I think, are just feel a lot better, because they happen when you still have a lot of energy left in you, so you get to celebrate a little bit harder. I really, really hope that they do one day. There's a lot of things that happen in trying to get a title shot that I don't have a ton of control over, but I do think that with my new skill sets and the things and just my work ethic in general, I'll definitely be fighting for a title sometime next year. And I would love it if it was against Sterling, because that was the one fight that I feel like I just didn't show up for, and I just want to show people that I'm like infinitely times better than that fight showed I was. I think I would be a coach.
Coach.
Yeah, I coach a lot of the kids back home, and then I also coach a lot of the amateur fighters back home too. So that's what I enjoy doing, is coaching fighters and kind of leading them through this journey, which I know is full of a ton of ups and downs, and I like being there for the people that I coach.